Are your patients more important than you? I always say be the gift. And what I mean by that is be the gift to those who we serve. Those are, in our case, we're healthcare providers, it's our patients. Well, I frequently ask audiences that I lecture to and colleagues and patients and team members, if you look at these four things, yourself, the team or the people that we work with, our patients, and referrals. So self, team, patients, referrals. What's the most important in building a practice? It's split. 50% say the team and 50% say the patients. And this is pretty consistent. Most people don't think that the self is that important or the referrals are as important. Without referrals, I'm not going to have patients referred to me. However, without myself, I can't do the work that I need to do. And what I've seen amongst not only dentists or healthcare providers is I see that people, they get busy, especially after their 30s. They get busy, they start having a family, they have kids, they develop debt, they buy a house, they got to pay like school loans, or they have a business loan, and they're spending more money than they're really making, or they're paying down debt and trying to save at the same time. So a lot of stress is there. So what they do is they really focus on great patient care, working for the patient, and they forget about the most important instrument that they have, themselves. There's an expression that they said that man with health, or woman, has 1,000 dreams, but a man or woman without health has but one. Your health is the most important commodity that you have. One of my friends said to me a long time ago, as you're a dentist or a healthcare provider, you're like a professional athlete. And a professional athlete has to be in great shape because they use their body to, play basketball, football, run, whatever. Unless you're in great shape, you can't do that. However, you can do dentistry if you are not in the same shape as a professional athlete. However, it might hurt. For about 20 years of my career, I really worked a lot. I was working 70 hours a week. I wasn't stretching. I wasn't doing yoga. And for long surgical procedures, I'd be in a lot of pain. And I'd look at my schedule and I'd say, oh boy, I got a 3-hour procedure. I'm going to be in a lot of pain. And I started to not like to do those long procedures. And then I found that, by stretching and doing yoga and finding a chiropractor and doing acupuncture and doing a lot of other things, I'm pain-free. And fortunately, for the last 20 years, I have been pain-free, which is amazing because I was in so much pain from the ages of like 30 to 50. So I've been feeling pretty good in these later years of my life because I've been taking better care of myself. If you don't take care of yourself, if I don't take care of myself, I can't be of service to my team and to my patients. So if that list, if you look at self, patients, team, referrals, the most important, in my opinion, is yourself. The second most important is not my patients, my team, because without my team, I can't serve my patients. For those of you who have ever gone into the office on a Saturday to treat an emergency as simple as just re-cementing a crown or a temporary, if you go in there by yourself, it's going to take you about an hour to an hour and a half to re-cement that temporary by turning on the computer, finding out where the cement is, opening up the instruments, cleaning the room, etc., and talking to the patient. If it's during the workday and your team is there, that's a 4-minute visit because the team does everything for you. With no team, I'm very inefficient. They lower my stress level and they give better service to my patients. Without a team, I can't be of service to my patients. My patients are important, but me first, then the team, then the patients, and then the referrals. Because referrals are important, but my patients are the most important because those are their client. Those are the people that we have to serve. But I can't serve them very well unless I'm taking care of myself. So what do I recommend? Well, you got to take some time. And you got to make yourself as important as those people that you serve. My dad used to get upset with me because I used to be a runner and I'd always go for a run before dinner. He goes, well, we're having dinner so-and-so. I said, I'll run up to your house. He goes, you're going to come up sweaty? I go, yeah, but then I'll take a shower. He says, you're always thinking about yourself. And I was young and I knew this concept early. I go, yes, I am always thinking about myself in terms of keeping in shape because unless I'm in shape, I can't be of service to others. I wasn't that involved in my thinking when I was in my 20s, but that's sort of where I was. If I didn't do that, if I did what everybody else wanted, I would never be able to get anything done. And one of my mentors, Dan Sullivan, says there are no rules. It's all made up. Everything's made up. And there's nobody in charge. You're in charge of your own future. Your health is the most important asset that you have. And without good physical health, you're not going to have good mental health. If your body doesn't feel well, the stress gets to me. That's for sure. So what do? I try to get 7-8 hours of sleep. I wear an Oura ring so I can monitor my sleep. So without sleep, I can't function well. LeBron James is one of the most conditioned athletes, well-conditioned athletes in the world. Is playing at an elite level at age 40. He sleeps 8 hours a night. Michael Jordan slept 8 hours a night during the peak of his career. He took care of his body. And that's why he was able to have such a long career and not get injured. So sleep is important. And if I get good sleep, then I can get up early. I'll try to get to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night so I can get up at 5:30 so I have an hour and a half before I come to the office for myself. During that hour and a half, I will stretch. I'll do a little meditation, maybe a little prayer. I'll exercise by myself. Nobody bothers me at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then by the time I come to work, I've already slept 8 hours. I've already worked out. I've already had some mindfulness stuff. And then I'll try to do a little bit later in the day. I'll try to get 30 minutes of stretching and maybe a little bit of meditation. Real important for me. If I don't do those things, I can't be of service to those people that I take care of. And of course, there's diet. And I'm not perfect with diet. I tend to eat a little bit too much sugar at night. That's probably my big weakness. But I do the best I can. And it's something that I'm always working to. None of us are perfect. I should drink more water. I try to sleep a little bit more, etc. But at least I know what I should do. And if you don't know that, figure it out. It's important. I see so many of my colleagues between the ages of 35 and 55 just let themselves go. I always say to my children who are in their 30s, I said, when you're 30 years old, look in the mirror. When you're at 40, I want you to look in the mirror and I don't want to see any change in how you look because that's the decade that things start to break down. Why at age 30 do they start to break down? Well, 2 reasons. One, your body changes. Your metabolism is not rolling it. You can't get away with eating a meatball grinder, and drinking a Coca-Cola and having some fries and do that on a daily basis, not put on weight and slow down. It does catch up with you, no matter who you are. At the age of 30, things start to change. But it also changes at the age of 30 for most people as you're working harder than you ever worked in your life and you have more stress because that's the time where a lot of people have kids and they develop debt. So you have more stress, you're taking care of more people, your metabolism's slowing down, and what do? You stop working out. It's sort of like a perfect storm for making you sick. And as a periodontist, I take medical histories all day long, and I will look at these patients of mine. I'm thinking they're on this medication, they're on this medication, they're on this. They're still smoking, so and so. I walked in to see a patient yesterday, she's my age, and she's about to lose all her upper teeth. I've been treating her for 35 years, and I'm a periodontist, and she's losing her teeth. Why? Because she doesn't get her teeth cleaned regularly, she doesn't brush her teeth well, and she's been smoking 2 packs of cigarettes since she's been 20 years old, and now she is 75. And I walked into the room, she goes, "Wow, you age well." I go, "Why have I been smoking 2 packs a day for the last 40 to 50 years? That's a big ager." But she also hasn't been doing anything else to take care of herself. And she's just ready to die. And it was really sad to see that. She's retired now, but she's just miserable. And she's miserable because she didn't take care of the most important person in the world for her, and that was herself. So be selfish. I'm not saying be selfish to be mean. Be selfish so you can actually be the gift to others that you serve. The better you take care of yourself, the better you can take care of those around you. And we as dentists sometimes, we sacrifice quite a lot in healthcare providers. Not just dentists, we all do. I've seen, my own family members do it. We usually just don't take that kind of time for ourselves. And that's the most important gift that you can give to the world, is to bring to the world the best version of yourself. Have a great day, everybody. And remember, be selfish. Take care of yourself.